I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. So it is that time again. It's time for a Q&A. So we're going to do Q&A number 21. That's right, number 21. My Q&As are now legal. All right, here we go. We're going to just get started. Alyssa J says, for end of roll projects, can you use rolls that haven't ended yet? You know, that's an interesting question. The problem I would see with using the end of the roll when you still have a whole bunch of tape left on it is that you're going to end up wasting that tape. So my suggestion for you would be this. If you want to do an end of the roll project, but you're not quite to the end of the roll, pull the tape off and save it on a work surface. Like either if you've got one of those great cutting boards, you could use it on that, or if you've got parchment paper, put it on parchment paper. So take the tape off, save it, so that you have it to use it, and then that way you're not wasting it by leaving it on the roll and making another project with it. That's just my suggestion. But yes, you could use, you know, a roll that still had tape on it, but then you miss out on using all that tape. So that's just my take on it. Okay, now I may pronounce this name wrong. It's Girasol, Girasol, Girasol. She says, or he says, hi Sophie, do you prefer buying craft supplies online or at stores? And also, have you ever been to Puerto Rico? Never been to Puerto Rico, would love to go. I hear it is a beautiful, beautiful place. As far as online or stores, okay, I love both. I love doing online shopping because one of the things about online shopping is I can do it rapidly, all in one place. I can see it all in the basket. I can know how much money that I'm spending before I put the order in. I can check and make sure that I'm getting the right supplies. So that's great. I love online shopping that way. As far as going into a store, stores are fantastic because you can actually see, hold, look at, turn it over, feel the product. I mean, you don't get that online. And a lot of times, I'll order something online and it comes and it's not what I expected. It's either smaller or it's larger or it's got a cheaper looking quality. When you go into a store, you can actually, you can tell how big something is. You can tell how small it is. So there's something to be said about going into a store, and I actually like bookstores. I love bookstores, and I know that they're kind of going out of business. I love bookstores. I love walking into a store and being able to thumb through different books and pick them up and hold them. And I miss that when you do an online shopping or when you get it on your Kindle. There's just something about it that's not the same. So there's pluses and minuses on both sides. I love walking into stores because I can actually, really become one-on-one with the product. But I also love buying online because it's fast, it's easy, it's quick, and it comes to me pretty rapidly. So you can't beat that. Okay, now I've got a couple of these, this or that's. So I'm going to do these really quickly. These are kind of fun. Vanessa A says, leggings or jeans? Definitely jeans. Although, if you catch me when I'm on vacation, it's leggings. Kawaii Kayla 8 says, gray hair or golden brown hair, which is pretty funny because my hair is actually mousy brown. I dye it blonde. Gray hair, I'm afraid, would wash me out, so I'm going to have to say golden brown hair. Panda Tube says, never eat or never craft, which is a hard one because it's like starve the body or starve the mind. I think I'd have to go with never craft because I think if I never ate, I would, of course, die. But I would find it really a sad world if I was never allowed to craft again. I guess I'd have to find another artistic outlet. Maybe writing, maybe songwriting, I don't know. Singing, I don't know. I guess, but I have to say never eat because I don't want to starve to death. Cute5687 says, do you ever listen to music while you're working, and who is your favorite person to work with? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not a big music listener. I listen to a lot of music when we do events and parties and stuff like that, but as far as listening to music when I work, I'm not into listening to music when I work. What I love to listen to are podcasts. I am a huge podcast person. I am addicted to the No Sleep podcast right now. I listen to it constantly when I drive, because there's so many years that I've missed. When I drive, when I'm working on, and I'm making crafts and stuff like that, and I'm working on putting together my videos, I listen to podcasts. Anytime that I'm alone, I listen to podcasts. So I don't really listen to music, except when I'm at parties. Sorry about that. My favorite person to work with, I love working with my husband. He's an awesome person to work with. His name is Scott, and he is my hero because he puts up with everything. And I think I would have to say that he's possibly my favorite person to work with. But I have so many people that I love working with. There's Mona and Katrina and Melissa and Frida, my sister, and Tori and Annette, and my list goes on and on and on, and Jessie and Nico and Jane. All these people that I work with on a day-to-day basis in my business. I love working with my people. I'm so extremely lucky to have a great team to work with. I really am. And the other people that I love working with are my audiences that come to all of my workshops. I love working with my clients. I love working with people. But my favoriteest person in the whole wide world to work with, I think I would have to say, is my husband, Scott, because he's amazing. And he's funny, and he keeps me in line. Squishy Toys says, do you have a choice that changed your whole life, and what choice is it? There's a lot of choices in my life that have changed them, but I think the biggest one came when I was 28 years old, and I made the choice to stop pursuing being an actress and becoming a party planner. And that was a huge change in my life. It was a life-altering experience for me, and one which really did totally change my life. And I love what I do. And if I hadn't discovered it, it'd be interesting. I'm not quite sure the human being that I would be today. But I love what I get to do every single day. And I love being able to do YouTube videos, which is all a part of my party planning business. So yeah, I think for me, that change when I was 28 years old was probably the best and biggest change of my life. Definitely the best. Imagine having dinner with 7 other YouTubers. Who would it be? Okay, this is a hard question because, again, I don't have a ton of time to watch other YouTube videos. I mean, every now and then I will, like somebody will send me something and I'll watch it. If you were to ask me podcasts, like which podcasters would you invite to dinner, that would be totally cool. I could give you 7, like boom, 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 boom. However, YouTubers. Okay, so I would have to say Graveyard Girl. Now, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly because it's GRAV3 Yard Girl, but Graveyard Girl is definitely somebody who I completely respect, and I love her stuff, and I think she's pretty darn brilliant. I love Steve Spangler. He has an entire science thing going on, and I just think he's brilliant. He's my go-to guy for science. Breen Brown, who's just this really kind of inspirational speaker. She's pretty awesome. And she looks like me. She's an older woman, and she looks like me, and she's not trim and fit and 20 and beautiful. And she's gorgeous as she is, a 40-something-year-old woman who just is a normal woman, and I really respect everything that she does. So I would have her. I love Jeff Foxworthy and Bill Engvall, and on YouTube I watch their stand-up just because those two guys, I love them. I think they're awesome. I love Kid President. I just think he's adorable. And finally, Ellen DeGeneres. Now, I know those guys aren't like YouTubers, but those would be the people that, other than Graveyard Girl, those would be my go-to. Those would be my 7 that I would have for dinner. And I'm not sure what we would eat. Maybe barbecue. Fiona Kraft says, who is your favorite YouTuber beside yourself? So funny, because I don't know if I'd put myself in that bracket. But again, I think I'd say Graveyard Girl, because I think she's pretty awesome. And how do you manage your time? My time is really stipulated by what is going on in my business at the time. So if we are in certain time periods, all I'm doing is parties. Parties, 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 parties. So everything is dictated by that. My normal day is this. I'll give you my normal day. I wake up at 4:30. I make a pot of coffee, and I sit down and I do all my computer work. Then at about 8 o'clock, if I have time, I try to get out on the water and paddle. Then I'm in the office by like 9:30 at the latest, and I deal with everything that's going on that day for any events that are coming up. I'll talk to clients. I'll go to meeting with clients. That day usually ends at 5, 5:30, 6 o'clock. If I've got an event, it could be much later. I often run some errands at the end of the day, get home usually about 7, 7:30, make dinner, have dinner with my husband, check in with him, and then to bed. And I have a tendency to go to bed early because I get up at 4:30 in the morning. And that's how I manage my time. Now, when I'm doing events, it can be out till 2 a.m. and up at 5 a.m. That's just the way it is. So there you have it, guys. That's Q&A number 21. If you've got any questions that you want to ask, make sure you write them down below. And if you like the Q&As, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you share us with your friends. Remember my website, www.sophie-world.com, where you can find all kinds of tutorials, games, YouTube videos, anything that you want. We've got all kinds of stuff for everybody and anyone. So come and check us out, sophie-world.com.